Hey Steve, do you like your new set?
Wouldn't you love to
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Loft sessions, formerly known as the Live from the Vault, but we've changed our location from the Vault to the Loft. And so here we are. Welcome back, and it's nice to see you. I really wish I could, and someday I will again. And that'll be just a great day for me, because I just find it strange to try to see you this way. But I'm getting lots and lots of emails and affirmation that this little endeavor matters, and so we'll continue doing it. Before we get going, why don't you say hi to Dave Zaglinski, my manager and sound man, who's doing sound back there, and we've been together for almost 30 years. So we're in this thing together. I also want to say hi to some kids. My granddaughter Nora, who I know watches. Hi, Nora. And Vivian, who's like, 3 weeks old now, and still 2 weeks early from when she should have been born, but healthy and good. I want to say hi to Reagan and Avi and Finn, who I know watch on a regular basis. I want to say hi to Ezra and Judah and Asher, my nephews. My grandsons, Luca and Pax. It's like, I'm just always so thrilled if kids watch, and it's just kind of fun to know that. So hi to all of you guys. Just sort of mention, we mentioned this last time, we have a new set to do this. We realized a while back that we may be doing online concerts for quite some time, and our little studio wasn't great for shooting in, and so with the help of Ken and Elizabeth Knight, we were able to create a set that feels just a little nicer, has a little bit more room to it. So Ken and Elizabeth came in here and took some measurements and put some thought into it and designed a set for us that we're just really thrilled with. And for those of you who are looking to go online to do your work, if you want some advice about sets, or if you want someone to talk to you about it, or even look at your space, you can contact them through us. Just email us at signpost@signpostmusic.com. I think it's up there, right, Jay? And just sort of ask, and we can put you in contact with them. Also, we're using a system here that hooks up iPhones, so we can do our shooting here. And if you want that information, how do you do that? It wasn't that costly, and it's not that difficult. So if you're interested in the technology that we're using, and you want to sort of try some stuff out, again, at the same email, just ask, and we'll send you that information. Jay, who does this for us, will be in touch with you. One more thing I want to say, just to get things out of the way. Happy anniversary to Peter and Robin in Concord, North Carolina. It's their anniversary, and this is them, and so we just wanted to say that. And the songs I'm going to do today are all from requests, and so, but I think there actually is a theme that weaves through, although I'm not going to try too hard to make that obvious. I'll just sing them. All of them, except for one, are songs I don't often do, and so if it's a little on the weak side, please forgive me. This first one is called Turn It Around. I wrote it with Malcolm Geit, my English poet friend. And it sort of tells a story of somebody who's traveling and has gotten lost and needs to go back to the last place of orientation to start out again. Seems to me that we could be, as a civilization, in this kind of place.
We've been heading down this road for a season, looking ever for a shining horizon. Have we We've forgotten about our reason for leaving. Better turn it around. I was navigating maps and the weather. Thought we were heading for the house of the Father. But I think we've gotten lost altogether. Better turn it around. Turn this boat around. Take us back to where we started from. Find that holy ground. Back where we began in Bethlehem. In Bethlehem. Couldn't bear it if you left me behind you. I just want to see the signals that guide you. Let's go back, we can begin where I found you. We better turn it around. Turn this boat around. Take us back to where we started from. Find that holy ground, back where we began in Bethlehem. In Bethlehem. Have we missed out on a turn for the better? Did we live behind the gift of the giver? Can we realize our journey without her? Better turn it around. Turn it around. Better turn it around. Turn it around.
So there's a bit of Trinitarian kind of stuff in there. There's the Father, and there's the co-pilot of the vehicle, which would be Christ, and then there's the her, the Spirit, the wisdom that once we get separated from that, all kinds of troubles have. So that's some of the stuff that's behind that. Okay, here's one I've been getting a lot of requests for since I started this, and it's one of my favorite songs. I didn't write it. Hold on, let me get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's the. It's an American singer-songwriter named Pierce Pettis, and he's just one of my favorites. He's up there with Coburn or any of them. He's a great guitar player, great lyricist, great singer, great communicator. I actually had a chance to meet him and do a concert with him in Vancouver a couple years ago. It was a highlight of my life. You know, it's really kind of when you get to do this work and you get to meet one of your heroes or perform with them. And I performed with him at Regent College, which was just a great. And Malcolm Geit was there. It was a pretty cool night. My friend Roy Salmon was there, producer. It was just one of those just really fun nights, and one of those. It was the kind of night that you just kind of go, okay, this is just worth all that effort. You get those kinds of things. He's just a great songwriter, and he has this uncanny knack of taking narratives and recasting them in a way that you hear them in a different way. And this is the story of David, King David of the Old Testament, the Hebrew king, the great king of the ancient Hebrew days. Who was kind of a rock star in his day, but was also a bit of a mess. He had a lot of things going for him, but he had some serious deficits, which was the undoing of his relationship with his own son. And so there's a story. His son, eventually Absalom, was as ambitious as his father, and at one point tried to unseat his father and take the throne, and there was a battle, and Absalom lost his life. And this is taken from the agony of King David, who, mourning the loss of his boy, and knowing full well that a lot of that was because he hadn't taken care of his own dark shadow, his shadow side, before it had mortally affected his own boy. So it's a great song. Not a happy song, but it's a good one, and makes you think. I think about my own parenting. I think about how our own kids suffer because we don't do our homework. We don't do our own soul care work. And the older I get, the more I see how that's true in my own life and my kids' life, and you wake up sometimes in the mornings quite sad about the things you can't change, but there's still grace and forgiveness and love, and those things are all good. So this is called Absalom.
Come and smear me with the branches from that tree, hyssop dipped in innocent blood to make me clean. Let an old man's bones once more rejoice. Absalom, you were my little boy. Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son, my son. Caught in the tangles of deceit, hanging lifeless from that tree. Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son, my son. Caught in the tangles of your hair, the fruit of my own sins to bear. You were the laughing boy who bounced upon my knee. You learned to play the harp and use the shepherd's sling, always watching my impressionable son. Absalom, what have I done? You were watching when I took a good man's wife and gave the order for his murder just to cover up my crime. All the vanity, cruel arrogance, and greed. Absalom, you learned it all from me. Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son, my son. Caught in the tangles of deceit, hanging lifeless from that tree. Absalom, Absalom, my son, my son, my son. Caught in the tangles of your hair, the fruit of my own sins to bear. Oh, Absalom.
Pierce Pettis, what a song, eh? I never tire of that one. Okay, here's, I was very surprised to get an email asking for this next song. I think maybe one or two people in my entire career have mentioned its existence. And sometimes you just stop doing songs because you don't kind of hear back if they connect. But this one was written at a time of pretty profound disorientation in my life and world weariness. Like we get to these times in our life where we're just so fatigued by the nonsense, and we're there again now. I am. I don't know how you folks are doing, but I wake up tired every morning, no matter how I've slept, and I have a feeling this is going to go on for some time. And frustrated and confused and disoriented for sure. And it's the stage that we're in. This is a song I wrote for a different reason back in the time. So this song is probably 20 years old, I'm sure. It's called Restless. What else can I say about it? I'll just sing it. I hope I get through this. This is one I don't do. Let me just hold on. Okay, I think I got it. Okay.
Blessed are the departed, the repose for which I long, to descend into the fathomless quiet of God. And wretched are the rest of us, tossed upon the sea, and I guess I'll just be restless till you satisfy me. I get no rest from the days of my week, I get even less on a Sunday. Sundays become the antagonist feast, like an arrow through me. So I fly to a desolate place. Here am I, falling on my face, to silence every claim to my soul, just to see God sitting high on a throne. But I'm not that free. That's my disease. Scanning these clouds for some sign of your face. Maybe this whole thing is folly, like waiting for Eden to rise from the lake. But I can't help longing. I fly to a desolate place. Here am I, falling on my face, to silence every claim to my soul, just to see God sitting high on a throne. But I'm not yet free. That's my disease. Blessed are the departed, the repose for which I long, to descend into this fathomless quiet of God. And waiting are the rest of us, tossed upon the sea. And I guess I'll just be restless till you satisfy me. My best guess is I'll be restless till you satisfy me.
There you go, Restless. I'm going to play one lick over again. I missed it twice, and I really like it. I want you to hear it. So it goes, scanning these clouds for some sign on my face. This whole thing is folly. Waiting for... Okay. I fly to a desolate place. There it is. There you go. I fly to a desolate place. Here am I, falling on my face, to silence. There you go. Okay, I just had to get that in there. I practiced, and I thought I'd get it right, but oh well. Okay, I'm going to do one more for you, and then leave you with a video. So if you want to hang in there, we have a kind of a lovely video of the first song I did, "Turn It Around," which has the full band video version of it, and I just thought you might like to see it if you hadn't seen it. But I'll do the song first, and if you want to hang around for the video, you can do that. I'm going to do one more song for you here. This particular episode just feels a little darker than other ones. It is a season of lamentation, isn't it? And there's no sense denying it. And that we need to have space in our lives just to grieve losses, to grieve our sins, to grieve the hurts and the pains of the world that we've contributed to often, or we're complicit in. And there's a lot of that going on for me. I just know we just had Canada Day up here yesterday, or 2 days ago. Sorry, and approaching it, there was a stress, there was a tension in me. I felt like folks do when they're approaching Christmas and they belong to a very dysfunctional family. Like you want to get together, but it's not all happy news, right? And I know with Canada Day, I'm just so aware of some of the originating sins of this country. The fact that our country was funded by dispossession in the first place. The Kickstarter campaign for the nation of Canada was a dispossession of many nations, and the logic of that still continues in our laws and our practices, and our hesitancy to redress those things is just deeply sad to me, and I don't have all the answers for sure. And there's lots of discussion about that, but I do grieve that. Not only for First Nations people, but for settler people, because these things affect all of us. There's no such thing as private sin. It affects everyone. So I'm going to, rather than say a whole lot about it, I'm going to do in continuation of this sort of more of a lament episode here. I'm going to do this song. It's written by Bruce Cockburn, one of my heroes. This is one of the songs that turned me on to him in the first place. I remember when I heard this, I just kind of sat up and I went, oh, what's going on with this guy? And it's called Red Brother, Red Sister. And I'll just sing it. Went to the museum, Red Brother. Saw your ancient bloom cut, pressed and dried. A sign said, wasn't it clever what they used to do? But it never did say how they died. Hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Went to Regina, Red Sister. Heard a cab driver say what he'd seen. There's a grand place to eat out on the number one. All white ladies, if you know what I mean. Hey, 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 hey. Went to a powwow, Red Brother. Felt the people's love joy all around. It left me crying, just thinking about it. How they used my Savior's name to keep you down. Thank you, Bruce Colburn. Okay, that's all I've got planned for you for this time. I'll be back in a couple of weeks, I hope, as long as nothing goes wrong, I assume. I'm going to do just a little quick announcement here about support. If you want to support the work that I do, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can go to buymeacoffee.com/Steve Bell. Is that right, Jay? And Steve Bell Music, buymeacoffee.com/Steve Bell Music. and that's for if you want to like check me $3 or $6, you can buy me one coffee, you can buy me two, you can buy me. Someone actually bought me 300 coffees a couple weeks ago. Thank you. But you can also, if you want to do something a bit more significant and to get a tax receipt for it, you can go to stevebell.com/support. And you can either sign up for monthly donations or one-time donations, and we can receipt you for that. So it all helps. Don't have a whole lot of revenue generation possibilities these days. So thanks for all of you who've been helping out. I really, really, really appreciate it. I think that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me here. I appreciate you being with me in this time, and I'm happy to be with you folks. I'm going to leave you with a little video. The first song I started out with is called Turn It Around, and I actually wrote it for more of a band setting. It doesn't work that great acoustically. It works better with the band, and we actually have a video, like remember the video days that we did. Andrew Wall produced this for us, and these are players you'll see that I've worked with for a very, very long time. I love them very much. My boys in there, Micah, Murray Pulver, Joey Landreth is in there. Alexa Dirks is in there. Gosh, who else is in there? Daniel Roy is in there. Winnipeg has got a pretty wonderful communion or fellowship of musicians, and I'm just really proud to be part of them. And glad they don't mind being with me. So anyways, I'll leave that with you. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Where's Steve?
We've been heading down this road for a season, looking ever for a shining horizon. Have we forgotten about a reason for leaving? Better turn it around. I was navigating maps and the weather, thought we were heading for the house of your father, but I think we've gotten lost altogether. Better turn it around. Turn this boat around. Take us back to where we started from. Find that holy ground, back where we began in Bethlehem. Couldn't bear it if you left me behind you. I just want to see the signals that guide you. Let's go back, we can begin where I found you. Better turn it around. Turn this boat around. Take us back to where we started from. Find that holy ground, back where we began in Bethlehem. Have we missed out on a